everyone, it's Leanne again here. It's really nice to be able to do these videos and get feedback and also find out if they're helping anybody else. Studying sociology, isms, constructs, all of those sorts of messy things that we tend to just sort of shove under the carpet because they're too complicated to understand, or they're kind of uncomfortable because they hold a mirror up to us. And we find it hard as humans to look in the mirror and face our flaws sometimes. So I just want to reflect really on my next video to try and provide another analogy. So I'm going to provide an analogy of cultural difference within the construct. So I'm going to tell you what I'm doing right now. I'm applying for some work on some search engines, and I can only choose jobs that are for British people. Now, I find that fascinating because that means our roles outside of our national countries are also restricted. So this kind of ties further into sort of constructed notions of modernity, living inside bubbles that we've always been accustomed to, and therefore being rejected from any other bubbles that are outside of our constructed, confined little world. So here I've got a role coming up, and it says work in Germany for Americans, work in Germany for Hungarians, work in Germany for Romanians. So we're basically looking here at labelling. This is labelling theory, and from my perspective, you don't really need to put a definition on labelling theory because we do it all the time. We do it from the minute we wake up. We may even do labelling theory in our dreams, you know. This is really kind of inherited stuff from our ancestors, from possibly primate brain, and we now just manifest all of these inbuilt sort of making sense of and categorical terms and ways of thinking into our modern constructed intelligent reality. Intelligent is also a label as well. So I'm sort of looking at healthcare roles, maybe some education roles for now, and I'm seeing that the list is all about sort of UK, where UK nationals can go for work across the world, pre-COVID as well. And I'm feeling quite restricted as an individual, you know. I feel like when they open my CV, what are they going to see? Is my nationality going to be judged first? Are people going to try and work out whether or not I am actually a UK national because they can't hear my voice, they can't hear my dialect? And this has interestingly happened before when applying for roles. So people have sort of rang me up out of the blue and said, oh, we're really interested in your position, but we just need to hear your voice so that we can verify that you're a UK national. And that is like very, very overt, but legit macro racism. So that's another example of how someone might experience racism on the job market. These are just all systemic and inbuilt forms of cultural divide. So my last video was mainly focusing on how we can sort of overcome those barriers by just noticing these things happening, and also noticing like language as well, language in job descriptions, noticing language in like the way people talk to you and what words they're using to maybe generate power over the conversation as well. It really is all in the words, and since the words are sort of classed in social class terms, it's been known that the bigger words you use, the more intellectual you may be, and sometimes it's a shock when you don't appear the intellectual conventionist and you're able to articulate your understanding. And I think it really does blow some people out of the water. They just haven't come across this and they don't understand. So if you are someone who's experienced that on either side, just don't take it personally and just take some time to reflect on your inner world and your inner construct and figure out why you're sort of feeling a bit shaken up by those experiences. And if you're being affected by like macro or systemic discrimination, just remember that try not to take that personally either, because if we can move past the personal and accept that this is the way it is, we can actually find more solutions to the problem, and that's what I will be touching on in my next video. Thank you.